Calculating income tax. So there's some terms we want to be familiar with before we talk about income tax. And the first one is gross pay. So if you have a job and whatever that job pays, either yearly or pays each pay cycle, the gross pay is a worker's pay before any amounts are deducted. And we'll talk about what deductions and withholdings are in a second, but that's just what you start. If you make $30 an hour, that's going to be your gross pay. You need $30 an hour. If you worked for 5 hours, you get $150. That would be your gross pay. Net pay is what the worker actually gets after the deductions are taken, and I'll kind of highlight that and detail that in just a second. But all jobs have some sort of deductions that come out of them, and once those are taken out, the net pay is the actual money that you get to put in the bank and use to purchase things. Withholdings is money that's deducted from a worker's wages as partial payment for yearly income taxes. So you have to pay taxes on any income that you make as an individual. And what businesses will do, or companies, or as you're paid, is money is deducted from your paycheck each time. That kind of helps you pay those income taxes. So those are called withholdings, and that's money that comes out of your check either each month or every 2 weeks or how often, to help you pay those income taxes that you have to pay every year. So here's kind of what this would look like. Gross pay, let's say a worker's pay before any amount is deducted. Let's say a worker made $2,000 in a month right here. That would be the gross pay. Made $2,000. So the withholding money that's taken away, let's say, and there's a lot of different examples of withholdings, but this is just one here. Let's say that $350 was deducted to go towards income tax each month. That means that the net pay, the money that would be left over, that the worker or the employee actually gets, is going to be $1,650. So if you make $2,000 a month, your real take-home, the amount of money you get to put in the bank, is not $2,000. It's going to be less than that. It's going to be $1,650. So that's net pay, and it's important to know these terms, especially as you guys move on and start thinking about jobs and careers and things, and the way salaries work. So income tax is based on taxable income, federal taxes. So you have to pay money when you make money, essentially. People don't love it, but it's just something that you do to contribute to the infrastructures in the country and things like that. So let's check out solving for it. It's really not too tricky to solve for income tax. Here's the situation. Hannah earned an annual income of $152,125. So every year, that is her annual income. And the income tax that Hannah has to pay is 6%. So she has to pay 6% of this to the federal government. What is the amount of income tax in dollars and cents that Hannah has to pay? So all we really need to do when you solve for income tax is just multiply that gross amount of money, in this case it's the annual income, times the rate or the percent. So 6%, and we've been working on this, we always turn it into a decimal, which is moving it back 2 places, which would make this 0.06. So after we multiply this out, we can figure out how much income tax Hannah would have to pay. So let's solve this real quick. We move this over 2 places, and then we just multiply. 6 times 5 is 30. I'm going to put a 0 and carry the 3. 6 times 2 is 12, plus 3 is 15. Carry the 1. 6 times 1 is 6, plus 1 is 7. 6 times 2 is 12 all the way over here. I'm going to carry the 1. 6 times 5 is 30, plus 1 is 31. Carry the 3. 6 times 1 is 6, plus 3 is 9. So I'm done with the 6, but I'm actually done because I can go ahead and do those zeros if I want, but it's not going to change my answer. I just have a bunch of zeros at the bottom, and I'll just add all this 912750 to a bunch of zeros, and that would really stay the same. So now what I need to do here is just remember my place value to bring the decimal back. So it's 2 places, 1, 2. So the total amount in income tax that Hannah has to pay here on her income is $9,127.50. So she made $152,000 and a little over that, I guess, in a year. She's going to have to pay this much in income tax to the government that'll be due in a year. So that's how you can solve for calculating income tax.